What's up, everybody? Got a couple questions on my router table cabinet build, so I figured I would do a little update video. I did the video on assembling it, and I've been used it a couple times, not a ton yet, because it's summertime, so I'm not down in the shop that much. I like everything about this setup. I think, though, for fine adjustments, the Incra style table where it has kind of like a T, a track that rides on the back for doing the fine adjustments. If you're doing a couple passes and you're moving front to back, adjusting this, it isn't hard, but it would be. I think it would be a lot easier with the Incra setup. But other than that, I do like it. So I enclosed mine so I could use it for storage, and it was I'm always looking for a shop project. So just I think I used half inch plywood, like the $50 sheet kind. So it's decent plywood. And I bought the little adapter back there so I can put my dust right connection on there. The 4-inch connection goes right into the back in the router enclosure, and then there's that little one that goes up right behind the fence. And oh yeah, here I needed a handy dandy push. I didn't want to use my miter gauge, so I just made this. I forget when I was making mortise and tenons for piece of furniture I made for my mom. So simple, it works pretty good. I might buy the one that fits, it rides along here. That's from Jessem, but it's like $200 something, so not there yet. Anyway, back to my table. I added over here the on-off switch because reaching underneath was a pain. And the outside, all around the outside, that stuff's just friction fit, as well as I believe the floor in here, and then there's a shelf basically that goes all the way across there that's screwed in, and then I made basically a box in there for the dust collection, and if I need to go in there and make adjustments, just one screw. That's what I have for now. I can just take it off if I need to change the speed. That's the only time I'd really have to take that off, and eventually I may seal it up because as you can see, there's a little bit of a gap up top there. I make it 100% flush, so it's not a crazy amount of airflow, but it does pull out most of the wood chips. So the front of each drawer is just same plywood I trimmed it in mahogany, and I made those handles. There's one big drawer. There are my same slides I used on the miter saw station. And this is just half-inch plywood. This is just a deep box that I use for, my miscellaneous stuff. So my routing, or the radius guides, and then the letter templates for making stuff like that. So that's all this bottom drawer is. It's a little tight. It's the summertime. It's humid, so as you know, wood moves. In the wintertime, it goes fine in and out. But now it's a little tough. Up here, and this one actually slides perfect. So this one I just made today. So this bottom wasn't in there. It was just basically the carcass of a drawer with no bottom, because I made the table and I couldn't stand to not have this drawer finished. So I just made it without a bottom, because my initial plan was to have the whole bottom like this, just holes for my router bits. And I'm like, you know what? Then I'm kind of limiting what I could use the drawer for. So I decided to make that, and it's set up right now for 2 rows of half-inch bits, and then I measured it so I can do another one right in the center for my 1/4 inch if I want to. Like if I buy single ones. Right now I think I only have that up spiral bit I use for making mortises, and then right there is the profile bit for making signs, but that's just to cover for it. And I always change my mind a lot, so instead of making it permanent, this comes out. So I can just take this, take it out if I want. It's real simple. And put it back in. Or if I want to make another one, I can do that. That stuff's just in there for now. I just finished it. This was my starter set. I think it's an Irwin. I think, Home Depot job. I've used them for a bunch of different stuff, and they've worked all right. The newer bits I'm buying, I'm getting from MLCS. They're actually local to me in Huntington Valley, so I can drive there. And if you drive up, their prices are good to begin with. They're even better because they include shipping because they're mostly an online company. But they have an awesome showroom. So I used this to make this molding plane bit to make a piece of furniture I have upstairs. I don't know if I have a piece of the molding here. I'll show you what I made with it. I just moved all my mahogany around. Oh, here we go. Here's one of the pieces I screwed up on. But it makes a pretty cool, if you can see that, pretty cool molding. That's what's on the side of the bench I built for my mom. That's like the apron or the skirt. And I used the up spiral bit to make the mortises. Worked pretty well. Anyway, so that's that. And then in here I have just storage. And I have a hole in the back to run the cords out. This is awesome. I forget who was using this. I was watching a router video. And somebody had that. It was cheap and it's awesome because you just go in, put it on whatever you want, zero it, and then you can use it to reset your height, especially if you're making mortises or tenons and you want to have the same measurement all the way around. You can do it in fractions or decimal, and it's awesome, and it was cheap, and it has a magnet on it, so if you're using it on the table saw, it works. This obviously, there's no metal, so it doesn't the magnetic doesn't work, but it's an awesome tool. And then over here I just have a push stick, the wrench or whatever you want to call it to raise and lower the router, a couple wrenches, and then I have some other insert plates that came with the router table. This is cabinet or stile and rail cabinet door bit set that my buddy gave me because he's not using it. Whoa. Oh, something just happened here. I think, I have to check, I think I just pushed down on that and I might have pulled one of the screws out. I'm going to have to check that out. But anyway, as you can see, other than whatever just happened, I got to check. That's the table. It was a simple build, just something fun to do using scraps that I had. Hope that helped anybody that wanted to see what I did to make the cabinet.